In this video, we want to go over COVID-specific safety rules and regulations that we've put in place in the studio to make sure that staff and members are safe. First, when you walk into the studio, you'll see a big sign. You want to read through this sign. What it's asking you essentially is whether or not you're experiencing any COVID symptoms or whether or not you've been exposed to somebody who has had symptoms. So you want to give a signature that you don't have any symptoms, haven't been exposed, and are wearing your mask. You write your name and then the time that you arrived. This way, if there is an exposure at the studio, then we can do contact tracing and notify the people who've been exposed to that person. Use the hand sanitizer before you enter, before and after you use the pen. There's 4 wedging table stations now at the studio. So every time you wedge your clay, you want to wipe it up, remove the scraps from the wire, and throw that in the scrap bin. The boards are right next to you, so you can set all of your pieces of clay up on the boards after use, and then spray the hydrogen peroxide. There's also hand sanitizer. When using the potter's wheel at the studio, we have a little bit different of a cleaning up procedure. We have 2 stations where you can do your washing and throw your slop and scraps. You want to bring your splash guards over to the wash station. You can put dry scraps, wet slop, and throwing slop into one reclaim bin. So scrape all of that off, wash it in the first wash bin, and then you want to go to the next final rinse to wash that off. Every station is going to be set with paper towels, hydrogen peroxide, and hand sanitizer. Spray the hydrogen peroxide on the wheel, on the buttons, anything that you feel like you've touched or breathed on, and then wipe it down with a paper towel. Then afterwards, of course, you want to mop around your space and underneath the table. When you're coming into the studio to use the hand building stations, you want to throw away any scraps into the reclaim bin, and then you want to wipe down your station with your sponge and then spray it down with the peroxide, and then give that another wipe down, and then you want to mop up your area once you're finished. Dispose of your dirty paper towel in the garbage can. The trash cans are located over here. In the recycling, you can only put aluminum, glass, or plastic that's recyclable, and it has to be cleaned before you throw it away. The other one is for clean paper, so not dirty paper, and then everything else just goes into the garbage. When using our outdoor glaze stations, you always want to use the drill to mix up the glazes. We have 2 sets of glazes now, and they're used less often, so you want to make sure that you mix them up very thoroughly before use. And please be careful with our drills. All the tools that you'll need to glaze your pieces are going to be on the cart in between the 2 glaze stations. After you're done glazing your pieces, you want to rinse in the rinse bucket, and then you want to dip in the bleach water bucket. We have gloves provided so you don't have to get bleach on your hands, and then you want to use the bleach water with a sponge and wipe down your whole space. You also want to make sure that you clean up the buckets if you've made a mess on the bucket, and then clean up the ground around you. The glaze mop should be available to you. There's a member bathroom and a staff bathroom, and the staff will clean the bathrooms in the morning, but throughout the day, members are responsible for cleaning up the bathrooms before and after use and keeping it clean for the next person to come in. In the bathroom, you'll find that there are sanitary wipes, there's toilet seat covers. So after you use the bathroom, you want to wash your hands. Use the paper towels hanging above the trash can. Use the hands-free trash. And then you want to give all of the surfaces that you've touched a wipe down with the sanitary wipes. So wipe down the flusher, the doorknob, and the sink. And then you can spray around the bathroom with the aerosol antiseptic spray. When you use the bathroom, you want to put the date and the time that you use it so there is 10 minutes in between use. The proper way to wash your hands during the pandemic is going to be with hot soapy water for 20 seconds, and you want to make sure you really get into in between your fingers and up towards your wrists, and then wipe it off with a paper towel. And then when you're done with your paper towel, throw it away. So the kitchen is off limits to members. This kitchen is for staff only. So if you're a member, just avoid using the kitchen. So just a friendly reminder that we understand that there's a lot of new protocols and a lot of new stuff going on within the studio, but if you notice that a staff person is working on their own work and they're off the clock, please respect their free time and do not disturb staff that is off the clock. Make sure to sign out when you're leaving the studio so we know how long you've been at the studio for. Thank you for listening. I appreciate everything you guys do and making sure that other members and staff members keep safe and healthy in the studio.